What's good, y'all? So one of the things I want to make clear to y'all is I'm on my spiritual journey just like y'all. I'm consistently learning from old and new information, and I'm constantly getting rid of old beliefs that no longer serve me and replacing them with ones that do, right? I'm trying to get to my highest good, my highest purpose, and I'm always tweaking my beliefs to make sure they all like make a system that get me to that highest point of my life, you know? But on anyone's spiritual journey, you are going to be faced with conflict. There's going to be a philosophy that you really get down with and you live by it. You adopt it. You're cool with it. You sit down with the new information. You ask yourself, does the information itself make sense? Cool. Does it make sense to me? Yes, then I adopt it, right? But, at some point, you're going to run into like some type of belief, some type of philosophy from the other side of the spectrum. And you're going to be in conflict, like, wait, that makes just as much sense, but that's the opposite of what I believe. Okay. And you're going to be faced with that question, the title of this video: what path should I take? What decision is the right one? What spiritual avenue should I go down, and whatever. So I ran into that this week. As y'all know, I am vegan. I eat predominantly raw fruits, raw vegetables, nuts, that type of stuff. But every once in a while, I'll have like a little cheat meal here and there, whatever. If I find out that a cookie had like milk or eggs in it or whatever, I'm not going to spaz out. It is what it is. But when I choose what I eat, I typically gravitate more towards, whole foods, raw foods. And that came from me from one philosophy, one simple philosophy, the one that made me go fully plant-based. And it's pretty much that you are supposed to eat foods the way that nature made them. Nature made them complete. Nature made them with all the fibers, all the nutrition in it that it was supposed to have. You got everything from that thing without adding to it, without taking away from it. It was made perfect. When you eat foods in their raw form, you thus introduce that new energy, that life force energy that food contains into your body. But then when you start to cook things, you start to like degrade them. You cooked it from a raw piece of, like if you put something on the stove, you went from a piece of broccoli, right? Let's just use broccoli, or you're roasting some vegetables. You are now putting it in the process to being burnt, charred. When you char something, it's losing its life force energy. You're quite essentially burning out all of the nutrition. So the more you cook it, the more that it's losing that life force energy. So that's one way to like look at the raw food. But then when it comes to meat, it's saying that meat's already dead. So you are introducing death into a living body, and that doesn't make sense, right? I feel a sneeze coming, but I'm gonna keep on talking through it. But so then I read the book of Thomas that said almost a complete opposite. And this is where I was like, I'm still like faced with this conflict, like, dang, what should I do? And it was pretty much saying, right, that was just using that same meat example. If I eat something that's dead, I'm introducing that to a living body. But since I am a living organism, when I bring that dead thing into my body, I thus give it life. And I was like, yo, that makes sense. And that's the answer I still haven't figured out, but it's like it put me in a little bit of a crisis for a couple of days. I'm like, yo, what should I do? And that's the conflict that you will inevitably face at some point, where not necessarily about veganism, but at some point you're going to hear a different philosophy or a different way of life that makes sense if you are open-minded. And that's the pro and con of being very open-minded. You'll have this type of thing, but if you stay closed-minded, you might be blocking yourself from new information that could get you to that next level. That's why I get my information from anywhere. It could be from religion, it could be from like the Quran, it could be from Muslims, it could be from Christianity, it could be from the Bible. Y'all know I get a lot of manifestation stuff from the Bible, but I took my own interpretation of that. It's like it can come from Joe Schmo from around the corner, could come from the homeless man that's drunk out of his mind, but he said something wise, and that fire truck is annoying, but we're going to talk through it. But anyway, it's like at some point you're going to go through that conflict, and you have to ask yourself, what's the right move? And I have that cheesy, corny answer for you. The right move is the one that you choose, whatever your truth is, whatever information that you got, you sat down with it and said, does it make sense? Does it make sense to me? Okay, I'm going to adopt it. You can reject something, but it still makes sense. That's why I always say, like, why can't we just both be right? Why does one side have to be right and one side has to be wrong when we can just both be right? What if there's multiple correct answers? You see? Like when you took a test in school, when the teacher found out, said, wait a minute, both of those answers could be right. Okay, I'm going to give you points back. That's how life is. We always want that one correct answer when there's multiple correct answers, And you have to understand that you are the one living this life. You are the individual going through this experience. And what I notice is a lot of people, when they hit that conflict, they go to what they know. They go to that rule set, that religion, that social construct that gave them those type of answers instead of them making those answers for themselves. Like people that like hide in religion, the people that don't date outside of their religion or their ethnicity based off of what their parents think. They gave you the answer. They gave you their answer. What's your answer? For example, I'm single, by the way. This is a hypothetical, but like if I date like a white girl, white woman, beautiful, I love her to death, she loves me, it's a mutual respect, everything is hunky-dory, and my parents aren't down with they ain't trying to get down with the get down. It doesn't matter. I'm living my life based off the rules I set for myself, based off of the things that make sense to me. And y'all know my rules. Am I hurting anyone with my actions? No, I'm not hurting them. We're good. We love each other. We're not forcing each other to be with one another. And am I forcing my ideologies, my ideas, my beliefs onto other people? Oh, I'm in this relationship now, so everyone, you have to be, you're a bigot if you don't date outside your race. No, you date who you want to, bro. I guess a third rule to that is, does it make you happy? Does the decision that you just made make you happy? Does it make you, the person living this individual experience, does it make you happy? Because a lot of people, I just see it. Once again, this could be me projecting, but it's just like I just see a lot of people that do and don't do things based off of something else outside of them. We are living this lives. Make your own rules. If you don't like the rules, guiding principles, if you will. Always be open to the fact that your life can change, your belief can change at any moment. For example, like if I didn't start making my own rules, I'd still be trying to force myself into, like believing like in the Christian church, in the Christian Baptist church. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me. Think about it like this, right? We all have free will. We all have free will. If I want to snap my fingers, I can snap my fingers. If I want to pound my chest, I can pound my chest. I can do what I want when I want. With this free will, when I notice that me using my free will, I'm about to introduce something into my life that's going to be long-term or have a very lasting impact, I'm going to make sure that I vet it. I'm going to make sure I try it out before committing to it, right? Very simple example. I go to the shoe store. I'm going to buy some shoes. I'm going to try them on first. I'm going to walk around in them, make sure they're comfortable, all that type of stuff. And then once I'm good with this, this product, I'm going to buy it and now make it part of my daily wardrobe. If I'm dating somebody, I'm going to not just instantly commit to them, but like, yes, this is mine. Yes, yes, yes. No questions asked. I'm going to ask you all the questions. And with all the questions that we learn through the dating process, then I'm going to now know that whether or not I'm going to commit to you for the rest of my life, yes or no. A lot of people, first of all, quick side note, a lot of people put way too much into dating. You get like a boyfriend or girlfriend and you think that's just it. You're ready for marriage. And some people need to calm down and say, hey, I'm going to vet you out. We're going to make sure that we get along and then we can make that step. But like people break up and it's like the worst thing. Once again, from myself included, yes, it can be a hard time. You thought things were going good, but then things went south. But it's just like, at the same time, you have to remember, hey, I'd rather it break off now than us get married and commit to ourselves and then, end things off later. But that's a quick side note. Anywho, you have to make sure things make sense to you, the individual living this life, right? For example, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but like a very quick example, and it's like, I just say, when it comes to religion, for me, I don't believe anyone in the Bible existed as a real person, okay? I don't believe they really existed because it doesn't make sense to me to put all of my belief into this guy called Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus doesn't exist because y'all see I quoted the things he said all the time. But my understanding is different. My belief system is different about this person. If I had $10,000 and someone came up to me and said, hey, yo, bro, hey, yo, let me get that $10,000 from you now, and I'm gonna flip it into $50,000. You meet me back here on the same bench in about 2 weeks at the same time, and I'm gonna bring you your money. What sense would that make? I don't know you. I have never met you. I don't know anything about you. I don't care what your homeboy said. It's like, I don't know you. You understand? And you haven't proven yourself to me, so why should I trust you with my money? The way I see it, some people trust their current lives and they trust their afterlife to someone that they have not met. And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but that doesn't make sense to me. And my personal belief, my rules, is like I need to be able to see that it works. I need to see that it's going to get me to my highest good if I utilize this, if I believe in this, if I practice this. It's like I'm always open to new things though. For example, I'm not Y'all know me. I'm into law of attraction, manifestation, mental magic. I'm not really big into rituals and ceremonies and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with the eye rolling and the tongue clicking and all that stuff and mixing this and that. That's not my thing. But if that works for you, it works for you. You know. But I will be open to it if you show me, hey, no, you get some octopus ink, a toenail, a lizard tail, some gunpowder, and light that on fire with some WD-40, you gonna open up a portal. Best believe I'm gonna head on to Walmart and get me some WD-40 to get ready for this. You know what I'm saying? Because new information presented itself, and I said that I could use this, and it works. You understand? But I can't give my rule set, my belief, the thing that's going to get me to my highest good, cannot have me trust someone that I have not met. You can hear stories about these great people, but then 10 years later, you find out that they were doing some evil stuff. I'm not saying that Jesus was doing that. I'm just saying, like, you could find out that, let's use a very simple example. Jared from Subway. Jared from Subway. You go, oh, wow, he lost weight. He's such a great guy. I'm going to follow after him. And then you find out from the news that he liked little kitties. That's weird. That's weird. You find out that type of information. So if I don't know you, I cannot give you my faith. The things that I give my faith in, the things that I give my practice, the things that I allow to be existing in my world are things that I have seen, things that I have proven, the things that make sense to me. People say heaven and hell and all this type of stuff. I've been to places in my spirit. I've been to places that some people would call heaven. I've been to some places that people would call hell. And they're not anything that made sense to me in the Bible. Even like this is something I learned from Brother Yosef, and I went and looked at it and checked it out for myself. If you look at some of the descriptions of these archangels, some of these, like the big powerful angels up there in heaven, they scare the crap out of you if you saw them in real life. Some of them, it's like, oh, we think they're all just angels, and they have two beautiful wings, and they have pale-faced, fair-skinned, long hair, and with their beautiful gowns. Some of these things got 4 wings. Some of them have eyes all over their body. Some of them have multiple faces. You understand? It's like you have to vet the stuff without just going into it. But, well, this is my belief. This is what I believe in. Why do you believe in God? Why do you believe in Jesus? Why do you believe in Hermes? Why do you believe in Zeus? Why do you believe in Anubis? Why do you believe in Osiris? Why do you believe in all these things that you have not met? That's why I can't believe in these things as entities that existed, that walk in this earth. But I can believe in them in levels of consciousness. That's what makes sense in my world. For example, Jesus. There's Jesus, and then there's Jesus Christ. In my understanding of Christ is a consciousness that we are all able to get to. The fallen angels, the fallen beings are, I believe everyone was once walking in heaven on earth, but you fell from that consciousness. These are the fallen angels in my understanding. These are the fallen angels. So when you would say Jesus Christ, it's like, it's almost first name, last name. If you call me Prince Smith, I'm not going to respond. Prince Smith. I'll be like, someone else in here's name's Prince? Oh, that's nice. Prince Smith. And there'll be a Prince Smith. I'll never respond to it because that's not my last name. But then, so like there's Jesus and there's Jesus Christ. I think the word Christ is almost like PhD. Like if I go through a certain training, if I go through a level of education, I can now say I'm Prince Oliver, PhD. That's what I think Christ is. That's my personal belief. I think that once you hit Christ consciousness, you now become Jesus Christ. You now become Prince Christ, Tom Christ, Sarah Christ. You see what I'm saying? Everyone can achieve Christ consciousness, And then I also can't worship a man that said, don't worship me. When the book, it says, worship no man. Jesus was a man. He may have been born from above, which means born from a consciousness. They took him to Golgotha, which means the skull. All these words, all these places have meanings. My understanding of the Bible is that the Bible is esoteric knowledge. It's esoteric knowledge. It's written in code. For example, what I mean by that, they say took him to Golgotha. He was put into the sepulcher. He rested there, and then he was somebody that was born from above. There's a higher self and lower self in the body. When you're born from the higher self, you went to his mind. He went to Golgotha, went to his mind, and he was born from above. Blah blah blah. I know I'm mixing some stuff there, but you get what I'm getting at. It's like Israel, Ra, which is like also in the Kemet. Ra meaning the big God is one with God, is a man of God. That's what Israel like almost means when you break it down to etymology. All this stuff means stuff. Judas, what was Judas? He was either the Scorpio, like the backstabber, or the Leo, one of the two, I can't remember. But regardless, all these names, all the people in the Bible, all these names mean things. It's code. It's the equivalent of me saying, like, if I was held captive and I'm like, yo, it's like, we will let you speak to them to show you that we are not terrorizing you, we are not torturing you. So the people, you know, I'm a POW, they bring me back, are you being tortured? I'm like, yo, yellow elephants sing. And they'd be like, what? Yellow elephants sing. And be like, are you being tortured, sir? Yellow elephants sing. Y-E-S. And then, like, you know, that's the code of the Bible. At first, you'll be like, oh, this makes no sense. Yellow elephant sing. Why does he keep saying that over and over? This makes no sense. This book, the Bible, makes no sense. But if you start to understand the code, yellow elephant, Y-E-S, he is being tortured. We need to save him. Then you get the real message that was being portrayed. That's why I believe that the Bible was a very amazing book. I think it's the greatest book ever written because you can connect to it at any type of consciousness that you exist at, where you're very low consciousness, very high consciousness, very religious, very spiritual. I think it all gives reason. It's written in parable. That's what's said in the Bible. You know, it's like it's written in parables, and it all makes sense at your level. You know, but for me, I just can't give credence to the same God, the same Jesus, the same devil that y'all worship. The devil is apparently this red-skinned person holding a pitchfork. Where does it say that in the book? You know, it says Satan was the most beautiful angel. Now I understand that he probably went through some changes when he got dropped down or whatever, but it's like still, like, it just is. You have to go through and filter things out in yourself. You know, filter things out and see what makes sense to you. When they make sense to you, that's your truth. Your truth and my truth don't have to be the same. Y'all know my rules. Am I happy with my belief? You know, me, I found manifestation. I found my God. I learned the words from this character named Jesus in the book, and it changed my life forever. That's what I'm cool with. You know, I don't worship him because he says, call not the works that I do good. The works that I do and greater, ye shall do also. He said this stuff about us, but why are we worshiping him if he himself said that? I'm going to follow what he said, right? That's just my understanding of the book. But nevertheless, right? You have to do what works for you. You know, do what works for you. The society is going to tell you to do certain things. Your parents are going to tell you to do certain types of things. Your religion is going to tell you to do certain types of things. You have to do what makes sense for you. When you are coming to that crossroads, you can go left or right. You have to go with everything that makes sense to you. What makes sense to you? What makes sense to you? By the way, what makes sense to you? And you have to understand that you are living this life. No one else can handle or face the consequences of your actions. Sure, there may be consequences outside of what you do, but I'm saying if you say, I'm going to do this, you have to walk that path, not them. So make the decisions for yourself. I hope I didn't get too ranty. I hope I didn't lose y'all in the religious bit, but I had some thoughts. I just wanted to throw them out there. To the next one.